Y'all, I am traveling! Literally, I have my vacation hair on right now. You do not want to know how long it took to get this hair done. Literally 8 hours sitting in a chair in pain, but that's okay. She looked cute, and the reason I did it is because I am about to head to Portugal for 2.5 months, literally 2.5 months in Europe, my favorite continent of all time. And so that I didn't have to worry about my hair at all, I got everything braided. But what I'm here to tell you is how I am traveling to Europe for 2.5, almost 3 months without really worrying too much about money. And so the whole reason I even started this whole real estate investing thing and becoming a business owner was so that it could give me the time and the freedom to travel whenever I wanted to, wherever I wanted to, and not have to ask for 2 measly weeks of vacation time, and instead just go. So I'm going to show you the 4 somewhat unconventional things that I'm doing so that I can travel freely. Okay, now the reason that I'm calling these things unconventional is because they're kind of like the things that when I tell my parents I'm gonna do them, they're like, what? That's a little weird. I wouldn't do that. Aren't you scared? Or, you know, just basically just things that kind of defy the conventional way of thinking. And honestly might make you a little bit uncomfortable, but that's why it's so worth doing. And I have literally had no issues with doing any of these 4 things. And they've made my life so much easier and so much less stressful worrying about money, because I know that I'm either saving money or making money by doing one of these things, or really all of these things. And just a reminder that legitimately everyone is going to have their own opinions, and you just gotta shut down the noise and do whatever the hell you want. Okay, so the first thing that I do is I rent clothes using Rent the Runway. Now, especially when you're traveling, you're usually going through so many different climates. If you're anything like me, you want to wear cute different clothes, different places for all the pictures and the gram and all of that. And buying all those clothes gets really expensive really quickly. And it just tends to be a waste of money. I personally love to wear lots of different clothes. If you see me on every video, I almost always have a completely different outfit, but that's just what I like. Clothing is kind of like my expression of art, just on a day-to-day basis. And I get bored of clothes really easily and like to make a statement. So instead, what I do is I rent clothes using Rent the Runway, and it's made things so much more affordable. I pay about $120 a month, and instead of like doing hauls where I spend $400 or $500 buying clothes that I'm only gonna wear once or twice, I instead get to rent 10 different pieces of clothing every single month, and then I return them whenever I don't feel like having them anymore. And I can exchange to new clothes and change it up. And if I'm in the winter, I'll rent sweaters and sweater dresses. If I'm in a summer climate, I'll rent summer clothing. So it makes it super great because then I'm not just buying clothes that are gonna sit in my closet year after year. And it makes it way easier to travel as well, because you're not having to worry about packing up all your clothes, so you gotta take it to the next place. You just get things sent over to you. Now, one thing, it does not mail over to Europe, so what I'm doing is I am just holding a few of the clothes and taking them with me. And I literally calculated it out, and it saved me about $1,000 a year to rent out my clothes versus buying clothes on a whim. This is a Rent the Runway bag. So basically what I do is I go online to renttherunway.com, I pick out the clothes that I want, and then they just get mailed to my doorstep wherever I am. And the coolest thing is I actually get to pick from some pretty cute and good quality clothing. Like I rented this outfit, how freaking cute, and rented this outfit, so adorable. And a lot of these clothes are way more expensive than anything I'd ever spend to buy clothing, but using Rent the Runway makes it super affordable, and I still get to use high quality items. And that way I'm not just like buying clothes for the sake of buying clothes and having them stock up in my closet for no reason. And I still get to pick out fun and colorful, bright clothing. The second thing I do so that I can travel is I reach out to Airbnbs, hotels, and hostels for collaborations. So some of the videos that you've seen on my YouTube channel those are actually collaborations with other hotels or Airbnbs so that I can stay there for free, and some of them will even pay me a little bit, but that allows me to travel to different places for free. Now, I make sure that I'm actually adding value to them by creating content for them, like YouTube videos or Instagram reels, or taking photographs that they can actually use in their own marketing, or even featuring them on my channels. It's literally free marketing for them. And it's so funny because in so many of these places, I've had so many people reach out to me and be like, hey, where are you staying? And I send them over to the Airbnb or the hotel, and they get a booking just from me posting it on my channels. Another thing that I've also started to do is to provide short-term rental consulting or management. Especially a lot of Airbnb owners and sometimes even hotel owners don't know the basics when it comes to short-term rental management, like using dynamic pricing or automated messaging. So I'm able to provide a lot of that consulting for them, see where their holes are, and fill in those holes in order to have a free stay. And so it literally becomes a win-win for both the hotel owner, the Airbnb owner, and for me too. So even on this trip, I'm going to Portugal, and I have a collaboration to work with a co-working space there so that I get a free few days of co-working while I'm staying there. And that just makes everything so much more affordable for me when I'm traveling, and it also helps out the brand. Okay, y'all, now if you are liking this video, make sure to actually hit that like and subscribe button. Remember, it is the only way that I know to make more videos like this one is if you actually hit the button. I really appreciate it every single time. It also, you know, helps the algorithm and makes my channel grow. That's what we're trying to do here. But now let's get back into the tips. Okay, the third of the 4 unconventional methods that I use so that I can travel is credit card points. Now, points are freaking big, and your girl is not about to spend any money on flights this trip, but I'm like, yes, amazing, more money in my pocket, right? The key though is to know how to actually use a credit card. And if we were talking to Olivia in 2019, Olivia in 2019 did not need a credit card, should not have been using a credit card, had no idea how to use credit cards, and thus racked up a crap ton of debt. But Olivia in 2023 knows how to use credit cards and is very smart about how she uses them, making sure to maximize on points so that I can then leverage them for my trips. They have literally funded many of my multi-$1,000 trips. Now, my favorite travel credit card to use is the Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card. I'll make sure you put a link in the description so that you can sign up for it, but it's honestly been the most fabulous credit card out there. And the funny thing is, I literally remember getting it when I paid off all of my $25,000 worth of credit card debt a few years ago, which is hilarious. I pay off credit card debt and then go get another credit card. But remember, I now know how to use a credit card, and I literally have a zero balance every single month. But I also always knew the power of credit cards and what they could do for my finances and how much travel and how much I'd be able to use them for travel. Now, the Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card is not for the faint-hearted. There is a $500 annual fee, but you literally make all of that money back. Every year you get $300 worth of travel credit. So literally, let's say you're getting an Uber or you're getting a flight and it comes up to $300, they just give you that money back for free in your credit card. Just pays it off right there and then. It's crazy. And then for anything you purchase that's travel, you get so many more additional points on top of that get to be banked and used for something later down the line. You also get priority pass, meaning that whenever you're going to, those airport lounges, there's a select few that are under priority pass. So in so many different places, I get to just go in the lounge, get free drinks, get free food, and hang out there till my flight gets in. If you have been to an airport, you know that airport food and drinks is expensive, like so expensive. And so you're just saving at least $30 every time you're going to the airport just by being able to get into the lounge. And then one of my favorite parts is that you get global entry TSA pre-check for free. Now that's like I don't even know how much global entry or TSA pre-check is anymore because I haven't had to pay for it in a while, but it's at least $200. And if you're traveling internationally and you don't have global entry, trust me, you are making the biggest mistake of your life. And then not only that, but with your Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card, you get a lot of travel insurance through your credit card. Like, you don't have to get travel car insurance for your rental car because Chase Sapphire Reserve already covers it. And there's so many other benefits to that as well. But yeah, I can literally rave all freaking day about the Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card. So if you don't have it, go get one. It's great. Link is gonna be in the description because it's been freaking phenomenal. Okay, now the fourth and final thing is that I rent out my primary residence. Now, some people may think that that is super freaking weird, and I mean, fair enough. If you really care about like your things, right, and you don't want anyone touching them, then this may not be the best option for you. But me personally, I don't really care about my things. Like, someone might as well use it versus it just sitting there collecting dust. And in general, for me, most things are replaceable. And if it's something that I really care about, I just lock all of my stuff up in a closet. So that way, anything that I actually care about and I can't bring with me, I know that it's safe and locked up in the closet. But in general, no, I don't really care if there's a stranger in my house. I go through the same tenant screening that anyone would do for a rental to make sure that the person is actually qualified to be staying at the property, just like anyone would do for any tenant. But no, I don't care if someone uses my pots and pans or if someone is sitting on my couch. Everything gets cleaned anyways. Also, for my primary residence, I make it mandatory for my cleaner to actually come once every 2 weeks. That way I have eyes and ears on the property consistently, and I know that my property is actually staying clean. And I also make sure that my cleaner does a full clean of the property before I get back, so that when I get back, it just feels like my staying home again. But honestly, I'd also just rather give someone else a place to live versus leaving the place completely vacant while I'm traveling. Now, that's just kind of a waste of space, time, and money on utilities that are barely being used. But all the extra income that's coming from whenever I rent out my place is awesome. It helps cover all of my travels, cover any hotels that I may be getting for myself or Airbnbs that I may be getting for myself if I'm not doing like a paid sponsorship opportunity. I know I have income coming in that can cover all of that. So those are the 4 things that I do so that I can travel more freely. I'm curious, is there any one of those that you thought just was like super weird or out there? So like, which one of those would you actually do? Which one of those wouldn't you do? I am so curious to see what you guys would, because these just seem totally normal to me. Like, it doesn't feel out there or super crazy, but whenever I tell some people that this is what I'm doing, they're like, you're doing what? Like, you're letting someone live in your house or you rent clothes? It's so weird. But it really doesn't feel weird at all to me. So I just need to know if I'm the crazy one or other people are the crazy one. But I will say one thing that has been super helpful in terms of having the ability to travel whenever I feel like it has been house hacking and buying my duplex. And if you want to learn a little bit more about what house hacking is and what it entails, make sure you actually check out this video, because I go over the different house hacking strategies that you can actually do and potentially become your own digital nomad and travel whenever you feel like it.